As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Refresh this or if it's catching up with me. I know when I flicker through the pages it does something with the audio. I don't know why. Hopefully we're coming in crystal clear, no glitches, no anything. It's nice to see everybody. Kendra, it's nice to have you back. Welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straight jacket and your padded room and welcome aboard. It's nice to see everybody. If you're meeting me for the first time, I am Bullhorn Betty and I cover true crime. We have a lot of stuff going on, but today I promised my audience that I would open up the phone lines for you. We haven't had the phone lines open in a little while. I know a lot of people have been asking me when I'm going to open the phone lines up again. So I thought today, this Monday, the day after Easter, would be a great time to open up the phone lines and get this stuff calling. Now, if you are here for your first time and you can't chat in the chat box, I do control my chat, so you have to be a subscriber for 24 hours to be able to chat in my chat. So if you'd like to sub up, you're more than welcome to sub up. Welcome aboard. I hope you enjoy the show. For those that can't comment in the chat, we'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow, and you should be perfectly fine to chat. So I just wanted to go over that. There you go. 8 months. It's nice to have you. Thank you for all the love and support. And Pam gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership from Pam, don't forget to tell her thank you. And for those that received these gifted Bullhorn Betty memberships, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straight jacket and your padded room. Our beautiful Oma has been with us for 10 months. Thank you for the love and support. Praying this ends soon for Seth. Amen to that. Amen to that. So thank you all for being here. Hopefully you guys will learn something. If not, we're going to, the whole purpose of opening up the phone lines is to give you an opportunity to ask those questions you don't know about. I may not have the answer. Maybe we have to research it. Maybe we have to search it. Maybe it needs to go on the list for something to look at and do a little bit deep dive. This is truly brainstorming at its best because we need everybody's hands on deck in this case. This has been going on for 15 months. Nobody knows where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is. We haven't seen him. We haven't heard from him. There's no evidence he even walked out of his home. We are at a very critical moment in the case. Aletha, thank you so much. Thank you for all you do, Betty. God bless you for being with me for 7 months. Thank you for the love and the support. Donna, thank you for the super sticker. And Truth in Time, been with me for 10 months. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. God bless you guys. God bless you. And thank you for the love and the support. It is those monthly contributions that really do help and impact this channel, these cases, as well as the stuff that I am currently going through, which is, well, just
bullshit detected. Take precaution.
That's what I'm gonna say. But guys, I gotta tell you, something is crazy going on. So I saw this morning. We didn't have a chance to talk about it because we were in other conversations and stuff like that. By the way, I scraped off some of the frosting, but you guys did not believe me when I said the cinnamon rolls are the size of my face. So I figured, why not snack on one of them this evening so I could use an example to show you what it looks like. Brenda, God bless you. Thank you so much for that super sticker. You guys rock. Thank you guys so much. So before we get started this evening, we got something going on. And I got to tell you, you know me and the whispers of the street, right? You guys know me and the whispers of the street. Like I believe the boots on the ground people. I don't necessarily trust. I got some frosting, sorry, on my notepad. It had to be cleaned up. But you know, we know one of the things that thrives here on social media is we're not bound by producers. We're not bound by, stakeholders in our corporation that shut our mouths and stuff like that. And the reason why I'm saying this, it's not to dog mainstream media, because the reporters and the anchors and stuff out there, they're being paid by somebody, right? There's a board of directors there. They've got to follow the rules. They're employed, and therefore they have, politics, law enforcement, not wanting to scare or worry the community, right? They worry about stuff like that. Not that we don't worry about it, but it's our right to know. Okay, it's not our right to be bamboozled or sugar-coated or telling us there's nothing to see over here when there is, because you don't want to deal with panicking citizens. That is not the media or press's responsibility. We are to tell the public what is truly going on. Now, I don't know if it's going on. I'm not here, right? I'm here in Florida. I'm not where this story is coming out of. So I don't know the truth. All I'm saying is I trust the people. That's what I'm saying. I trust the people. The people is where my mojo is, right? When it comes to talking heads on newscasts that are by, huge conglomerates, they are swayed in their commentary because of their board of directors. They don't want to tick off a sheriff or a judge or whatever the case may be. So thank you, Melanie. Gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership from Melanie, don't forget to tell her thank you. And for the person that received your Bullhorn Betty membership, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room. Welcome aboard. It's going to be a bumpy ride. They're talking about another Rex Heuermann moving about. I'm not lying. It came through this morning on my feed. And I looked at it and I'm like, okay, but we were talking about other stuff. So I figured now would be a great time to segue on in here. There it is in New England. They're saying, wait a minute, not so fast. Not so fast, right? I don't know. I trust the people. I trust the people's instinct. I'm sorry, I just do.
Have been found around New England. And while law in the last 2 months, 7 bodies have been found around New England. And while law enforcement is not connecting the cases, people online have other ideas. Boston 25 News reporter Bob Ward joins us live in Brockton. Bob, the talk is getting loud enough for police to address these rumors.
So, as you know, right, we love law enforcement. They do the best job that they can do in certain environments. But do we believe that law enforcement would tell us that there's a serial killer running around? No, I don't really think they would. Actually, you know what I think they would say? I don't know. We're going to listen. And I'm probably off base here. But I believe they'd probably say they're unrelated. We have nothing to connect them together, right? And until that such time evidence becomes available, there's nothing to say over here, right? I don't know. 7 bodies? I don't know, guys. That's a lot.
Rachel, you know, more and more people online are paying attention to this. They are concerned that some or all of these cases might be connected and that a serial killer might be striking in New England. In some corners of social media, like Facebook, the idea that a serial killer could be on the prowl.
Looks like I got some major lag on my side. Guys, wait just a second. I don't want it to be laggy for you. I don't want it to be laggy for you. Let me just refresh this. I'll be right back. All right, let me get it built back up here. It always kicks everything, but that was just too laggy for me. I don't like that. It was playing just fine on my end, but I was looking at it on your end, and it looked like it was really kind of weird. So let's see if this works a little better.
New England is getting more popular. This Facebook group, New England SK, has nearly 9,000 members. And in other forums, people are posting their concern that some or all of the bodies recently found in New England might be connected to each other. Since the beginning of March, 7 bodies have turned up in Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. Some of the bodies are unidentified remains. The bodies discovered in Groton and Killingly, Connecticut, are close to a Rhode Island case.
I don't know. I think law enforcement is probably going to try to, they don't want the concern of their community, and that's the thing that just drives me up a wall. I'm an ounce of prevention type of gal. I'm just an ounce of prevention type of gal. And if you don't know, don't say it's not. And I feel like that's how these things always happen. But if you're in this area, folks, you're going to have to be careful, because I don't know what's going on here. All I know is law enforcement is saying one thing, and the people in the area are saying something else.
So far, law enforcement is not connecting the cases. However, the talk online has grown so loud that recently Groton, Connecticut police issued a statement that said, in part, regarding references circulating on social media about incidents in the state of Rhode Island, we currently have no information connecting those events to any of the incidents in Groton. Here in Massachusetts, the discovery of a human skull in Plymouth and another set of remains in Framingham is also being looked at.
And I'm noticing that they're right off of major freeways. I mean, they just showed you guys a major freeway. Okay, this is very concerning to me because of a few reasons. We've had many bodies from around this country wind up in desolate areas near major highways and interstates. Now, some of those have been resolved. I mean, there was, I think one of them, was it the happy face killer, over the road truck driver? I can't remember. But there was several of them that ended up being serial unalivers, and they were moving about because of big rigs. And I always keep that in the back of my mind when I see, these roadways, these thick, interstate type of roads, because it's so easy. I mean, us seeing a tractor trailer pulled off to the side of the road, none of us think anything about it. Think about it. I'm on the road all the time. I can't tell you how many times I see a big rig pulled over to the side of the road. think nothing about it. Nothing about it whatsoever.
Dad. In the late 1980s, a serial killer struck the New Bedford area. 9 women murdered, 2 missing. Author Maureen Boyle covered the case at the time and wrote a book about it. She is skeptical that a new serial killer might be at work right now.
I'm not skeptical because we know by the work that we do that there's a lot of people with the propensity to unalive people is quite alarming, believe it or not. I think we have like 140. When was the last time we checked? It was some ridiculous amount of serial unalivers still moving about in this country. I don't know how uncommon that is. That's a little scary to me, if you ask me. But I digress. This wasn't really about this serial unaliver. This was just something that I read that I thought that you might want to be careful about because, again, we have a lot of people from Rhode Island. We have a lot of people from Massachusetts. We've got a lot of people in these New England areas, and there could be 7 bodies. I just want you guys to think about it. 7. Remember, Gilgo started out with just 4. Remember? It started out with 4. And he's been charged with what now? 5 or 6, maybe even 7 bodies at this point. I lost track. I have to go back and look at my the work I've done on Rex Heuermann. It started off with 4. We have 7 in this small congested area. It's I'm sorry. There's just some times when I just got to believe the people. Now, this one here, we're going to be moving on over into the Sebastian Rogers case, which I told you guys I was going to be putting on the phones for you guys to call into the show and talk about it. People have been asking me for quite some time, when am I going to have another show, a call-in show? Well, this is it. This is the call-in show for you guys. I don't know when the next call-in show will be, but we have a lot to go over. So most recently, we've just surpassed the 1-year milestone of Sebastian Rogers back on February 26th of 2025. We are now just 5 short days away of April 26th, which would be, what would that be? About 14 months that this child has been missing for. Not quite, but about 14 months that this child has been missing for. Now, what we've learned throughout this case, what we've learned at the beginning, and what we now know to be true, there are a few things. At the beginning of the case, we were basically told that this child, although could speak, had some major problems. Well, we've learned recently that this child was bright, smart, capable. Everything that his dad, Seth, told us that he was is finally being realized from the mom and stepdad. We have learned at the beginning of this case that it appeared on the face of this weekend that this appeared to be a normal weekend. Something happened. We're not sure what, but as we look into the history of this case and the people that are in and around this child, we learn that there was home problems. Okay. That is, whatever the degree of home problems, there were without a doubt home problems. They haven't lived in this property off of Stafford Court very long. However, during that time, they've been visited by the Department of Children and Family Services multiple times at this property since they lived there. And it is from my understanding that this was not happening at the Remington property, the property that they had moved from. Since they've moved into this house, there was something that happened where they just didn't want Sebastian around anymore. They started approaching Seth to take Sebastian as far back as October of 2023. Was that right? 2023? 2022. He disappeared in 2024. Nope, 2023. Oh, excuse me, 2022. 2022. They originally approached him. They wanted him out of the house. They wanted to look for facilities to put him into. Upon further looking into and looking at the cost, it was decided that Sebastian would go and stay with his father. His father worked 14 months to try to get all of his at-home schooling set up so he could do online schooling from home. And then when he wasn't home, he was at whatever program to help him with his autism or things of that. I think it was like ABA or something like that, some type of a special class where the teacher comes to the home or he goes to the classroom at a different program, not in a like a normal school. So they were getting that all set up. That was finally set up, and Seth was waiting until the end of the school year, and he was going to be taking Sebastian over. He was going to start taking custody and keeping Sebastian with him full time. But shortly before he was getting custody, Sebastian disappeared. Now, we've learned from the mom and the stepfather that this weekend seemed to be normal. They were out at Costco's getting groceries and whatever they were getting at Costco's on Saturday. I don't know specifically what time. And that is about all the information that we have for Saturday. Thursday, just to give you guys a good timeline, Thursday, after he got out of school, he talked to his father. Friday, he went to school, came home that Friday. He did not speak to his father. He did not speak to his father on Saturday. And he did not speak to his father on Sunday. And by Monday, that was when Sebastian was reported missing. So that weekend, we know that he went to school and he came home Friday. Saturday, we have no clue what happened from the time they woke up to the time they went to bed, but we do know at some point on Saturday, Sebastian and his mother, Katie, went to Costco's. And the reason why we know that is because that optimism photo that was originally on all of the flyers was taken on Saturday, February 24th at Costco's in their food court, where he had a huge slice of pizza and a drink. Then on Sunday, we're told, we're learning some new information that was just released, that on Sunday, they got up. She had allegedly made him this fun breakfast, which was spaghetti pancakes, which is, from my understanding, like a funnel cake or something to that effect with, pancake batter. So they call it spaghetti pancakes. It's a fun breakfast. Apparently, he really enjoyed it. I'm assuming his mother must not make him a lot of breakfasts because this particular breakfast he wanted to brag to the family about. We don't know if that call was ever made. We're just taking the mother's word for it and the stepfather's word for it. And that's a little scary for a variety of reasons. We don't trust them because we've caught them in so many inconsistent and dishonest answers. So now we're at the point where they leave to go to BJ's. This is all convoluted. There's no straight answer because we didn't even know that Katie went and picked up this person. We learned from Dara and Melissa early on because they both made public posts on Facebook. Dara saying that she saw Katie and Sebastian briefly that Sunday morning. We learned that from Katie in the Chronicles of Olivia interview, this was the first time we heard this, that she had to go pick up her niece. Everybody assumed that it was Melissa's niece, but apparently she met Cassie, which is Chris's younger sister, and this is according to Chris and Melissa over at BJ's. So it was Sebastian, allegedly one cousin, and two aunts at BJ's. We learned that they were leaving BJ's about noon. That's what Chris stated in that call to one of the PIs that withheld this call from Seth, the client, which in and of itself, very frustrating, very frustrating. So we do have that information that it was about noon. They went home. It sounded like from Chronicles of Olivia's interviews they just got snacks. And I would imagine that that would be true and accurate because they were just at Costco's the day before. And I'd have to assume that that's where they got their groceries, the grocery store that they're accustomed to going to. So it seemed like BJ's was just a one-off because this BJ's had just opened. I guess they were allowing people to come in free of charge. You didn't have to have a membership, just to check the place out to see if you'd be willing to get a membership or whatever the case may be. I didn't get too involved in that. They came home for a few hours. They decided to go to Strikes and Spares to go bowling. And then there was a post or a comment from Chris in this same conversation with the PI that and he's the one that told everybody that there was leagues going on. So I wanted to show you guys this. There were leagues. Here's the league information. It starts their leagues. Oops, sorry. Oh, it's only going to let me go. All right. Well, it's going to get too big. Hold on. Maybe it'll. There we go. So meeting. Oh, I guess not. It's just going to keep going forward. I don't know why. Oh, good gracious. Okay, so it's not going to let me do. I guess it's doing something funky. I'm sorry, but here is the information. It's 31. I'll put it back down. It keeps popping all over the place, and I don't know why. August 22nd, 2024. That's the meeting. Their season lasts 31 weeks. It's for cash prizes. Tells you the team size, 4 bowlers, men or women. Format is handicap. Bowling prices, and then it goes through all of the bowling game prices on here per person and stuff like that. But it doesn't specifically say what date the bowling leagues are. However, I will take, for the purposes of this, take the until we know otherwise, take what Chris says as true. And I almost want to choke on a chicken bone when I have to say we'll have to take anything he says as true because he's been so deceptive for so long. Now, we're going to get down to finite timelines, and then we'll open up the phones. But I wanted you guys to hear this first. This is from Smiley's World, so credit to Smiley's World on this one. But I thought this clip was interesting. It was sent to me by one of our audience members, and so we wanted to go ahead and play that now.
But listen, it'll all come out. Some people that's in here right now that I love dearly don't believe that the poker game happened, but I do. And guess what? Guess what? I believe Chris was at the poker game. Guess what? I now don't think Sebastian was in there at the poker game, but I do think Katie and Chris.
I don't. I'm one of those people that Smiley is talking about. I absolutely do not believe, because the poker game came from TL. And we all know that the stuff we've learned from her, none of it is panned out. None of it. None. Zero. So I don't automatically, oh, whose birthday is it? Oh, it's Sonia's birthday. Happy birthday, love bug. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, toot toot. Happy birthday to you, toot toot. Happy birthday, dear Sonia. Happy birthday to you. All right. So I'm one of those people that she's talking about. And then we came across some more information. I'm not going to play you guys this stuff right now. We will go over it. I'm trying to open up the phone lines for you. So I did want to go over some of the stuff. And it says May 15th, Chris says he passed the polygraph. May 25th, Chris says he never took the polygraph. April 16th, Burton Staggs claims Christopher passed the polygraph. May 23rd, Christopher refers to this polygraph as an open book cheat test. And then we have White Rabbit, which is also giving more timelines because, again, once we walk into the house after the whole day is over with, we stopped at the strikes and spares, we stopped at the leagues, but they went home, or excuse me, they went to the Texas Roadhouse and left to go home about 6:25 that evening. There's evidence that Sebastian did make it home by video and audio that has been turned over to the law enforcement, so we know he made it to the house. However, from the time he goes inside the house to the time he goes to bed to the time he wakes up in the morning, something happened to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. The only person with him at the time that this something happened was his mother, and only his mother. Now, mind you, she's an MM trained fighter. She's also Navy trained. She's been on ships. She knows electrical work. She is a very well-to-do, physically, mentally bodied lady that can fight and take care of her cub. There was no forced entry into that home. There was no evidence that Sebastian walked out of that home. And here we are 14 months later and still have not seen hide nor hair of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. This next post is from the White Rabbit. I'm going to read it for you since you guys probably can't see unless you're on a TV. It says, hashtag Sebastian Rogers, revised. FYI, I'm going to keep adding events as they happen. The day out before he went missing, that night, February 25th, 2024, details are given in some, but not others. Why? First event, Katie Proudfoot stated her and Sebastian made spaghetti pancakes and bragged to family via FaceTime. Revised 2, second event, before noon on the way to BJ's Wholesale, Katie picked up two sisters, Melissa and Kathy, confirmed by Christopher Proudfoot, sisters and their children, more than one is said. Sebastian and his mother, Katie Proudfoot, plus the others, went to BJ's Wholesale Club. Colossal popcorn. Katie states that Sebastian got a colossal popcorn while she was there, but there is no colossal popcorn on the menu. But Katie leaves the others out, only exaggerates the popcorn Sebastian had. It said that Chris's sister left after BJ's, which contradicts, as he said, they went with Katie and Sebastian. Details left out. So did they all meet at BJ's and drive separate vehicles, or did they ride with Katie and Sebastian and get an Uber or a pickup? Third event. Sebastian and his mother, Katie Proudfoot, went to strike and spares. No details. Fourth event. Sebastian and his mother, Katie Proudfoot, had dinner, Texas Roadhouse. Details after footage shown, but not before. Why? If she was excited about Sebastian eating a salad dressing, wouldn't this be said as opposed to the colossal, as the colossal popcorn was? Excuse me. Fifth event, PM. Upon returning home, Sebastian took out the trash to the curb. No details. Sixth event, PM. Sebastian went to bed. Says, good night, puppies. Good night, mama. Details. Seventh event, Katie on the phone with her husband, Chris Proudfoot. No details of the conversation. Event 8. Katie hears a thud from Sebastian's room and loudly yells, go back to bed. No details what caused the thud. No details given about picking up the nieces and the children on the way to BJ's. So no details were given at the bowling alley. Don't you think this would be where more detail would be given? For instance, like he won a game, etc. Texas Roadhouse, no details given until after footage was shown per at night. Why? No trash, no details given here, but nothing really to say. There's been rumors of the neighbors saying he saw someone take out the trash with jeans and a black hoodie, and that is exactly what Katie Proudfoot was wearing that evening. Katie and Chris, no details of 3-hour conversation. Thud, no details other than he was supposed to be, he responded back with okay. Katie didn't ask if he was okay or what made that noise, etc. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Now we're going to go ahead. I've got a couple other things that I was going to show you, but that is really for evidentiary value. If we get some calls that needed some questions, I went ahead and pulled some information that may be pertinent to potential questions. I know that it just because I pull them doesn't mean a whole bunch of anything, but it could it could. It could. So I'm opening up the phone lines now. We're going to continue to talk about the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. And if you guys have questions, if you have a statement, if you don't like something, if you like something, the number for this call-in show is 724-252-8070. And we're going to have this if you are one of the first people that call into the show, all I'm going to simply ask is that you give me a moment to confirm that the phones are working. Okay. 724-252-8070. Now let's get started with some of the new information that we learned. We've learned that Chris has now, the last time he was back in town was February 2nd. February 2nd at around 4:30 was the last time he states that he saw Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I'm not sure if that's true because we heard that there was a school meeting at his school, and I believe that was around the 9th of February. And I was told, or the rumor has it, rather, that all three parents were there. So it gives me a little, again, it's rumor. I don't have their schedules. I have not personally reviewed any information that corroborates the day of this school meeting, but it is known. I just don't know the specific date. The rumor is it was around February 9th. So we have him there, and we found out that Katie left BJ's around noon, which would imply that she most likely got home between 12:30 and 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 12:20, 12:45, somewhere around there when she got home. And we know the time that they arrived at the Texas Roadhouse, which was before 6 p.m. So we can make heads or tails of some of the time for Sunday, but there's still a big portion of the time on Sunday that is missing. What I do find very curious is that we're learning from this statement that from the PI that didn't inform Seth, we learned that they were not talking where kids could hear. They weren't arguing. That was interjected by Katie Proudfoot. But it was very clear that where they talk is not a place where any child could hear them. So this idea she was out in the living room outside of his bedroom door is a little concerning. Guys, hold on. This is Betty. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Chris Proudfoot said kiss his dick.
Tennessee? Okay, hold on just a second. Can everybody hear the person calling in on the phone? Give me just a second. Let me check and make sure that people can hear you. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
What? I said, Chris Proudfoot said kiss his dick and suck his balls.
Okay, well that's really graphic, and I wonder why he would say such horrible things when he has a child missing. Can you answer that? Huh?
I have no idea. He just said that you look like you could suck a good old dick.
That's great. That's prioritizing. I gotta say that is prioritizing a missing 16-year-old child. Very, very, very smart. Very smart. It's sad. It is sad to think that this child had a stepfather like that associates with the likes of these people. And it's always got to be sexually motivated commentary. sucking a baby's, you know what, right? Why in the world would any parent that has a missing child hang out with people like that? And we all know who that sounded like, right? Sounded like Chlamydia's fiance, did it not? So they're always around these people. They're not supposed to have contact with me, and they're being directed to call me by Christopher Proudfoot. I'm calling law enforcement as soon as this live is over with. This is Betty. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Betty, it's Chaos.
Hey, Chaos. How are you doing, my love?
I am just great, and I just wanted to say, hashtag Chris Proudfoot wears granny panties. What?
I went to jail for a hashtag.
I love you.
You have such a sweet voice, by the way, Chaos.
You. But I just wanted to call and let everybody know. Hashtag Chris Proudfoot wears granny panties.
All right, girl. I love you. You take care. God bless.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. She's got a doll voice. She's got a doll voice. Doll, not a dull voice, a doll voice. D-O-L-L, okay? D-O-L-L. I'm just saying. Don't be getting me in trouble with Chaos. She sounds like she's more than I can handle. But it's very sad, in my opinion, that Sebastian has no, like, he has white trash for a mom and stepfather. Just absolute trash of people in their world, where they actually hang out with people that speak like that. Horrible language on the backs of a missing child. This is Betty. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Mama Bear Curly from Tennessee.
Well, hello, love bug. You're probably going to turn me down in the background. I can tell I'm going to be hearing the feedback.
Okay, I'm trying.
That's okay.
Hold on.
There it is. I can hear myself in the background.
Okay, I'm trying.
I won't tell you guys the cinnamon roll's really good.
I'll try to call back, Kenny.
No, you can go ahead and speak. It's down enough. What's up?
Okay. I was wanting to know if you had heard the interview with the PI where Chris says that he will search if it's assisted.
He will search if it's assisted search?
Yeah, he said that he would search if it was needed. Like, it's on the interview with the PI, with Seth's PI.
I think I heard it, but the problem is that this is a strategic planner of the Navy. Like, he has all the abilities and the education and the know-how to search, to be beneficial, to help in a case like this. Right. He was talking about going over to another country and having to search for people in another country and to help out another country. Well, this is his own stepson, and he has done squat.
Exactly.
Yep. So,
all right.
What do you
I
think's
didn't know
going to happen?
If you'd seen that interview or not.
What do you think's going to happen, love?
Oh goodness! I hope they go to jail.
I hope they do. I want to say this. I hope whoever is responsible for this goes to jail. If that's them, then I hope that they go to jail.
Well, that's in my opinion. I hope they go to up underneath the jail.
You know me. I like those. I like the toes. Okay, hang them from the toenails.
All right. All right, honey. I'll talk to you later.
All right, love. Bye. Who is that was calling in? Why do I feel like it was Turkey Man calling in? Turkey Man, if that was you, call back. I feel like that. I don't know why I feel like that was Turkey Man. If a Turkey Man called him, I'll have to hang up on you. This is this is Betty. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Ohio.
Well, hello, Ohio. How are you doing this
Hey,
evening?
I'm good. This is Pink Butterfly.
Oh, Pink Butterfly. It's nice to hear your voice. So what's shaking, Bacon?
What?
I said, what's shaking, Bacon?
Freezing. It has been so windy up here. It's been nasty. But I just wanted, this is just when I first seen KP at court hearing, the last one you guys had,
Mhm.
the first thing that came to my brain was, oh my God, who does she look like? Elsa off of Frozen. The blue shirt and her hair braided on the side. She looked like an overweight, older Elsa.
Overweight Elsa.
Yes, like she knew Elsa.
That's a
Because,
new
in
one.
Frozen, she's got that blue outfit on and her hair is on the side. That's exactly what I thought of.
We're gonna have, or I can feel a GIF or an emoji coming at Wheezy girl saying, "Oh no, not poor Elsa."
But think about it, didn't she? I mean, it was that blue shirt that really, I guess, that set it off. And then the hair on the side, I was like, oh my God, what does that remind me of? Elsa!
Well, it's so funny because they said that the rumors going around that she braided her hair to trigger me, and I don't understand the trigger because it's not triggering me at all. Because I think no matter what she looks like, she's going to look evil to me. There's nothing
Right.
that lady can ever do to trigger me, ever,
And
except
that's very childish.
continuously not find her son, not help find her son, not do a damn thing, but sit on her
Right.
fat lazy ass and do nothing.
Right. And that's like what, the 5th and 6th grade when we used to do that stuff to,
So
like,
juvenile. Like we've got a missing
yeah.
child and we're going back to freaking elementary school or middle school. Give it seriously.
That's very high. Yeah, middle school spells. Yeah, she's got bigger problems to worry about than upsetting you about a braid. Come on.
I didn't understand it either. Like I understood the overalls, even though it looked like a bunch of freaking fighting chipmunks in chlamydia's drawers. Her
Oh,
crack scene was playing peekaboo with me on the second floor.
oh boy. Yeah, and then it was.
I
I'm
bet
gonna
you
have to
she
come to
was
a court
shaved
hearing.
by the time she got home.
Oh, but yeah, I don't know. This case is just getting wilder by the day. I swear to God.
Because they brought the circus. I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. Any other family would have kept with Chris McDonough, Josh the Lab. It's a crime. Annalise.
Right.
I mean, normal people would go to normal channels for advocacy. These people are going like literally to the dirt bottom rockers, the people that are criminals. Like these people are freaking hardened criminals. That's who they are having help them.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense. Well, it does.
And
It
it
does.
don't,
It does
because they
if
act like they're all okay, I don't know about when you went to school, but when I went to school, we had the hoods and the socials. The socials were the cheerleaders, the Richie kids. The hoods, we were on the corner smoking, running around town on the weekend. We had our hoods and socials. That's what I feel like. The sneaky feet are the socials, or wannabes, and they're hanging around with the hoods.
Yep. Yep. They're the ghetto trash of social media. They're the ghetto trash of social media. And
Right.
that's a shame because, many times you see parents fall prey to some of the tactics, but they wisen up quickly. The only time people need this much help from these type of people is if they're in way over their head. And I have to think that Chris and Katie are in way over their head.
I just wish that Ellie would do
I've got to
something
let you go. I
already.
think this is Turkey Man.
All right, hon.
Give me just a second. You
All
can
right,
call
honey.
back, but let me grab this.
All right, hon.
All
Thanks.
right, thank
Bye.
you. This is Betty. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hi, Betty. This is Mama Rissa.
Okay,
How
Mama
are
Rissa,
you?
I love you. I thought you were Turkey Man. I hung up for somebody before you, but that's okay. I'm glad.
No,
I'm
I'm
glad
sorry.
it's you because if it was somebody I didn't know and I hung up on somebody, then I'd been a little upset. But since it's you, I'm happy.
Okay, well, that's a good thing, I think. No, Betty, I just wanted to call in. You know, I have sat back for, 14 months now, and I've kept my peace.
Mm-hmm.
But it's time for me to make a stand.
Speak it.
There are so many. Go ahead.
I said, speak it. I'm giving you the floor.
Yes. I have observed so many things from, as they call it, the green team
Mm-hmm.
and the haters. I am not on any team, and I want everyone that's listening to this, I am not on any team. And when I speak my truth, that's Sebastian's team.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been people on both sides that have done wrong,
I agree.
but we are never going to find this child until we come together and bring God into this, trust in God, and let God lead us. Because that is what I have been doing since the very beginning. I have found things that I've never revealed
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not in it for clicks or for views.
Mm-hmm.
But there are things that I'm getting ready to bring forth. I have many things to say on Julie. I have things to say on the Proudfoot. But there's one person that I don't have anything to say on. That man is in full heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
He is looking for his child,
Amen.
and there's nobody under the sun except God himself could tell me any different.
Amen to that.
When I hear that man speak, and when I look into his eyes, I see nothing but his heart empty because his child is gone. And any of these haters that could come at Seth, in which they do, God is going to handle these people. It may not be today and it may not be tomorrow, but I can assure you one thing, God's going to handle these people. But in the meantime, if we can drown out all of that noise, everybody that's listening, if you'll quit listening to these hate channels, you won't have to worry about the noise.
Exactly.
Just stop listening to them. I get so mad and so upset and so irritated when they weigh my heart down. Why do I want to go to a channel that would do that? But you see, Bullhorn Betty, she gets presented as being bad. She gets taken to court. She gets presented as this, oh, she's nothing but a bully. But it's funny how I don't get that feeling in your chat either, Betty. I get positive when I come to you because I come to you for the truth.
They like to clip. That's all they do is clip and seam and drive narratives. They're the illusionists. All they have, they build their channels on lie, disinformation, and misinformation. That's it.
And if we just stop listening to them, if everybody that's in this chat room really loves you and knows you bring the truth, just listen to what Betty has to say.
It's
listen
hard
to what
because
people,
these parents are going on this trash channel to speak, and it's hard not to go over there to listen to their garbage, even though it is garbage. They don't even advocate for Sebastian anymore. They talk about
Yeah.
toys. They talk about people's looks. They talk about bull crap. They don't even care anymore.
You know, and even on X one day, I made a comment and somebody come at me. I'm a large woman. Somebody come at me and said, well, you need to do something about your turkey neck. And I was like, well, what in the world does my double chin have to do with it? So I came back to them and I said, well, if you'd have lost 300 pounds, you'd have a big chin hanging down too. Well, your hair is fried. I said, well, actually, it must be the camera angle because I've got
won
pretty
the
skinny
argument.
hair.
When they start going after
You
looks,
know
you
what
already
I'm
won.
saying?
You already won the argument.
Exactly. If they knew Mama Rissa and how strong I am, ain't nothing they gonna say I ain't already heard. Hello. You know, I'm 56 years old. I've been a big girl all my life. Don't go on my looks. You are headed down the wrong path.
Right.
But anyway, as you see, I digress. But what I just wanted to call in, and I wanted to tell you, B, that I support you. I may not agree 100% with every single thing that goes on, but who does?
Right.
If you knew me long enough, you probably wouldn't agree with me 100%.
Yeah, no.
The thing is,
look at me and Justin.
Go ahead.
Justin and I, we come together on things we agree with, but him and I don't agree 100%. We never have. I mean, heck, I was just done chewing him out because of our disagreement.
well, it's just Justin. I mean, you know, he'll rally around, you know. But anyway, I love Justin too. But anyway, I don't totally agree with Justin. But the thing of it is, I'm not here to look for Betty. I'm not here to look for Justin. I'm here to look for the truth, to find this child. And if Chris Proudfoot thinks for 1 second that he's going to deter Mama Rissa and my team, and yes, I do got a team, let me tell you, we're at it every day. And if he thinks he's going to deter me from looking for his child, he has got another thing coming because, honey, he is up against a woman that would go to court just like Bullhorn Betty would. I'd stand toe to toe with that man any day.
Yep.
And that ain't no threat. That's a promise.
The way I look at it is that, you know, these people are cowards. They have to hide behind lies. You know, we hide behind the truth. They hide behind the lies.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? The lie is going to come to light.
Yeah.
The lie is going to come to truth. And when we find the answer, when we find that one little nugget we need, we're going to find this child.
Yeah.
And whoever is responsible, we will get justice for it. And even if it isn't the Proudfoot, they disgust me. Let it be known, they are disgusting human beings.
I agree with that statement.
For the way they have gone on these haters and ag them on, and these haters are like, oh, Chris. Next, they'll be getting his autograph, you know? I mean, please.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Mama Rissa. I agree.
I'm sorry, Betty, I'm raw tonight. Just let me tell you, I am raw. Rawer than Chlamydia's cat thighs would be that day she wore them overalls.
Well, like I said, they were her scene was playing peekaboo, and she was wrestling with it. It looked skin tight. That's all I gotta say. If it was any tighter, it would have been busted at the seams. I mean, when she was sitting down, she had to keep getting up and adjusting. So I know it was pinching in all types of places.
Yeah. I've smoked bigger cigars than her. You know, she ain't nothing. She thinks she's all that. But, honey, she ain't never come up against Mama Rissa. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, and not only that, but, you know, somebody that has to act so hard, that means they're insecure about themselves. You don't see normal people having to act like they're the tough guy, you know? They're either the tough guy or they're not. You don't need to have the facade.
Exactly. And like I said, I could have been on all these channels. I could have been on your channel before now.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking for this child. I was not looking for fame. I was not looking for my name to be spread out there. Not that I'm hiding from anybody, but I'm on a mission.
Right.
You know? I'm disabled and sit at home. And no, I've not been boots on the ground. But you can't tell me I haven't been everywhere else I need to be.
Right.
Because things that people don't think that you've been looking and investigating on, they are so wrong.
Right.
So wrong. I have found things out about people I never care to know just from the digging I've done. But I didn't go and spread it around because it don't have anything to do with Sebastian.
Amen to that. Amen to that. All right,
Well,
love.
I'll let you go.
You got
Sorry, I was so wrong. Love you, Betty.
Love you too. God bless.
Bye.
Bye. This is Betty. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Tuesday Jill from Colorado.
Well, it's nice to see you from Colorado. What are you thinking about everything going on in this case so far?
Is it, which case is it? Could you remind me?
Sebastian Waindrake Rogers, you are calling the Bullhorn Betty show, no?
Right. I thought it was the court case.
I thought it was the court case. Okay. All right, Cupcake. Let me go ahead and let me go ahead and play it for all of our unhealthy people. All of our unhealthy people. Where is it? Oh, it's right there.
Sneaky gremlins love to fight, but we're here to set it right. Jump and duck, let's take a shot, turning trolls into what they're not. Whack a troll, whack a troll, let 'em tumble, let 'em roll. Swing your spatula or a stick, whack 'em fast, whack 'em quick.
I in for some reason. It just keeps ringing, and I can't get it to stop. Oh, good gosh. Let me refresh. Let me refresh. There we go. All better. It got stuck in the ringing for some reason. It was really weird once I started to get that song going. All right, we're back. We're back. We're back. So I thought I would do that because everybody's trying to make this about something that it's not. This is Betty. Who's this and where are you calling from?
This is Mama Bullhorn.
Well, hello, Mama Bullhorn. What is shakin' bacon?
Well, it's Monday night, and I just wanted to say hello.
Hey, hey, hey. I am eating a colossal cinnamon roll.
Oh, I heard you say that. You didn't bring them over here.
Nope. Nope.
I'm
They said
missing my
Bullhorn Betty
Delilah
on them. They
baby.
didn't say Bullhorn Betty and Mama Bullhorn.
Oh, well. I'm missing my... Oh, guess who's missing Delilah? You know who's
I know.
missing.
Uncle Binks. Uncle Binks is missing Delilah.
Oh, my goodness. He is missing her so much. He just lays around, and he plops down right in front of my feet, and all he wants me to do is scratch him and pet him because he misses her nipping at him constantly.
Well, she's sitting in here on the office floor in her bed, and she just looked up at me, so she must be able to get the telepathic wave. She hears your voice.
Oh, yes. Just like when you'd call, and then she could hear your voice. Oh, yes.
So what do you got to contribute to the Sebastian Waindrake Rogers case, Mama Bullhorn?
I don't want to get you into trouble, but I totally agree with Mama Marissa.
Let me ask you this. How do you feel about these POSs doing what they are doing to me? Maybe I
heck,
shouldn't ask that. Maybe I should. Maybe maybe we should do that on a
that'll
Sunday
get
after
me
church.
thrown in jail. They'll be sending a damn sheriff to my doorstep.
My mother's
Oh,
being
heck.
facetious. I just want to make sure that anybody listening, don't go to
Oh,
Tennessee, Mama.
Lord. I was ready to bring my Louie with me.
Yeah.
Mr. Louie, and his last name's Ville.
Yeah, well, Ma, we don't vigilante justice.
I know, but I did scare quite a few of your boyfriends.
That is true. That is true. That is true. Let's leave it above board. Let's not go too personal, Ma. You hold all the secrets. You hold all the skeletons in Bullhorn Betty's closet.
I know.
You know,
I know.
what's going on
I'm
here?
telling you, I have to take blood pressure pills because I get so wound up.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just want to reach through the freaking television and slap them a couple of times and say, wake up.
Right. Now.
Either you're going to find your kid or you're going to jail. I'm Grady Judd, 100%.
Yeah, in Florida, the crap
life.
that they're doing in Tennessee would never fly here in Florida. People would lose their jobs. I'll tell you that.
Oh, no. You think about Grady Judd, he would be all over it. There's missing kids that don't stay missing very long.
Mm-mm.
Let me tell you. He knows how to put his finger right on everything. And that would not happen in Tennessee. I'm telling you, you didn't see my post this morning. You have an aunt that lives in a county up there that's totally Amish, and they have no need for law enforcement. She's been there 2 years and never seen one.
Wow.
And I said, are you sure you got any?
That's a little concerning, but I would believe it in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I would believe it in Tennessee. They lock their doors on the weekends, nights and weekends. They shut their police and sheriff's offices down.
Do you know when I went to see your other aunt and we went around where she stayed, you know, she has her
Yeah. Don't get too much personal information. You got creeps on here.
It's so small. It has a one-room police station and it's like Andy of Mayberry. One car, one room business. It's like, I didn't know they still had these. But it was true. It was like everything was Andy of Mayberry, the Andy Griffith Show. I am not kidding you. And the car still had a bubble gum machine on top.
Okay.
It wasn't like the new versions. It still had the rotating circle thing on top.
Budgets. He's got to fund. Tennessee has got to fund. They're not funding enough. I don't care. I don't know where their money's going, but it's not proportionate to the law enforcement needs.
Well, I don't know. Most of the counties in Tennessee are bankrupt. And they're getting federal funding, and it's going to get worse now that they found all this illegal money laundering throughout the state's governments. It's like it's all coming to an end.
Do you know Manatee County is about to get our own version of Doge?
Yeah. Look, they are finding where money is going where it shouldn't have gone.
I agree.
And they know Elon Musk and his genius team of the smartest men in the world, they know where that money went, and it's going to come out.
Yeah.
It's just like
Well, let's not get too heavily into the politics and stuff. Let's keep it to the case topic.
I'm running the same thing, and to the when Seth and Sebastian pray to God, I pray to God that Wong, Nick the Hat, and Dog, all of their work
I think they will nail it eventually. But I think they've already found the truth. It just, nobody is listening.
Nobody's
Because-
searching. Are you kidding me? The only people that can solve this case and bring justice for Sebastian haven't even done a secondary targeted search in his case.
Honey, they're using you as a diversion. You're their plan B. Okay? You're their plan B.
Yeah.
Okay? You're the diversion. And I don't know what I can say and not say, but
Yeah, just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. But
it's an ugly truth that's going to come out. And the same goes for Summer Wells. The truth is going to come out. And it's all the kids that are missing in Tennessee. Nobody's looking for them because the counties, let me explain this one thing before I get my senior moment. The counties in Tennessee are so bankrupt, they can't afford a high profile trial. That's why they're not pursuing this. That's why they are not pursuing the Wells case. That's why they're not pursuing the Leila case. Come on.
Well, actually, Leila's case, I truly do believe law enforcement is doing what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, again, this time in Leila Santinello's case, they had already had about 5 or 6 different targeted searches at this point in that case. We've had none.
Well, we know what. Okay, we know who did it.
No, it was not her
And-
boyfriend. It was not her boyfriend. It was not Michael. Michael did some things, but he's not responsible for her
Well,
condition.
he knows who did it.
I would say that's a lot warmer.
Yep.
That's a lot warmer.
Bing, 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 bing. Okay. All right, baby. I'm going to let you go and let somebody else talk.
All right, Mama. I love you. Thanks for calling in.
I'm not as redneck as I sound.
Of course not.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Love you too. Go round up the cows.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
This is Betty. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Robin from Florida.
Well, hello, Robin from Florida. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
And what do you think about this whole situation with Sebastian Rogers?
They know.
I concur. Hold on, let me give you an applause. There you go, Robin. We gave you a big old applause.
You know, I understand cold cases.
Mm-hmm.
And I also understand that kids go missing. But Sebastian was old enough to know that you're not going outdoor with no shoes on and nothing to protect you from the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian was smart. Autistic children are very smart.
Mm-hmm.
When my daughter was took, it was all premeditated, and which I'm still fighting that case, by the way.
Oh, Robin, I now remember who you are. Yeah. So, how is your case progressing?
Well, he's appealing his second life term, and it'll be, I don't even know. I just know I'm not going because it's appellate court. So
right,
it's between the prosecutor and his attorney, but the 26th will be 32 years, and I want him to sit down and shut the up.
Yeah.
Just quit. Just stop already. You did what you did. That's what I think about that clan. You did what you did. it's not going to get easier. It's just going to get harder.
Yeah, I agree. And it's all
You're
going to
going to
come
get
out.
caught.
This is all for nothing. In the grand scheme of things, once this is all said and done, they will realize it was all literally for nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And the only person that's hurting is Seth.
Yep.
And all of Sebastian's mamas. You know, I feel so bad for Seth. I really wish I could talk to Seth because I don't know. I'm shaking right now.
What advice, you went through some of the worst times. Now, granted, your child was a lot younger, but what kind of advice would you give Seth at this juncture, related to his son and what he is up, what he's going to be going through, what he's going through now? Obviously, we don't know truly what happened to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. We just know that what his mom and stepdad are saying could not possibly be true.
What I would tell Seth is to stay strong and don't stoop to Chris Proudfoot's level.
Right.
Because one, Chris ain't gonna fight Seth because Seth will beat his ass.
I agree. I think I've got my money on Seth as well, but yeah.
But don't stoop to Chris's level.
Amen.
Don't even try to work with them because they've had plenty of chances.
Amen.
They've had over a year. And don't tell me you're out there searching. I don't ever want to hear that you are searching. They are fucking liars. They are. I believe when Chris does go on Clue's channel, I believe he's drunk because a drunk person will tell everything.
Yep.
And when I was in there, she had it on had it on private or something, but it was recorded through some other people, and I did screenshot where it says somebody said that, oh God, I should find that damn screenshot. Said what did it say? Something about Clue is taking and planning on taking all the billboards down.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have that screenshot. It
doesn't matter because any billboards that come down, our channel is going to put right back up. So whenever I find out which ones they're taken down, we will be putting them back up in the same exact spot that they were taken down from.
Yeah, I sent that all over the dog. I got a recording too, of what you were saying earlier today about Katie talking to her friend at lunch and that and the other. I sent that to the dog too.
Yeah, I've heard some people say that there were some conversations that were leaked, but I've never heard of them. I just heard rumors of them.
Well, whatever, rumor, lied. That's why Katie ain't saying anything because she don't remember what the fuck she said in the beginning.
Neither one of them do because Chris is leaking some stuff that he said wasn't true. For example, the Miss Bobby kept saying there was a silhouette in the front window, not in Sebastian's room, the front window, which we all identified as the dining room window. And now all of a sudden, at first he was saying that Miss Robin didn't know what she was talking about. Then it went from Miss Robin didn't know what she was talking about to it being a silhouette of Sebastian in his room. And I know specifically what Miss Bobby said, and it was not a silhouette in his room. And I find it awfully interesting that now all of a sudden Katie's going to bed at 11 p.m. instead of midnight.
Right.
Because that shadow was seen at 11:30, at the time, around 11:30, 11:45, around the time that she was going to bed. Clearly, it was not Sebastian in the dining room.
Right. It's just sad that you know, you go to court to have to look at the scum of the earth. I mean,
Yeah.
So I don't know who it was that somebody said, now what the heck is that? Oh, it was crime lines and lies.
Yeah, I don't
Says,
really
now
watch
look,
Brooks at all.
what is that? What is that?
Yeah.
What is, and I was on her panel. I said, that's Cletus. That's Clue's buddy right there.
Yep.
She said, well, damn, does he ever brush that thing out? I said, man, there's probably a bunch of fleas in that thing.
They don't even look like they take showers, just to be honest with you. So
I'm saying, you know, how I don't know.
Yeah.
I just pray that, you know, Seth, control yourself. Please, I know if you're in this channel, I know you can hear me. I wanted you to reach out to me so bad. I just want to talk to you so bad, Seth. I need you to calm down and please don't stoop to Chris Proudfoot's level. That 5'5" piece of shit asshole ain't got nothing for you.
Amen.
Nothing, and neither does Katie.
Amen.
Katie showed you that the day she cheated on you.
She showed him that the day that his son disappeared as well, because let's face it, she was provided an ultimatum. We do have that on good accord. It has been corroborated, and her son disappeared.
Mhm. Yeah, you know, and I'm with you, man. I'm with the Florida state. I mean, I'm with the statues. I don't tell me to shut the hell up. I'll say what the hell I want to say. This is America, and that's my First Amendment right.
Amen to that. Amen.
I'm fighting my landlord where I live right now because they're doing some funk stuff, and I'm looking up constitutions. I'm like, no, the fuck you ain't doing this to me.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm. You gotta always know the law, and you know the law, and you know the law so well. I think you should go up there like Lori Vallow and defend your own damn self.
Right. I agree with you, girlfriend. Well, I love you. You take care. You rock it out with your coffee beans out. God bless you and everything that you've been going through, and thank you for the kind words to Seth.
And by the way, I am under Grady, and Grady don't play.
He's awesome. He's awesome. He don't give a crap.
Well, I'm right in the heart of Polk County.
Yep. Well, God bless you. God bless you, Miss Robin.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, let's go here. Let's go ahead and do whatever we need to do. Okay. All right, let me get the phones back on. Where are they? There we go. You guys have been doing amazing. I just want to tell you guys that, again, we're just doing this to discuss the case of Sebastian Rogers. This is Betty. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
It's Lisa B. always.
Well, hello, Bug. How are you doing?
I am trying to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Amen to that. Amen to that. What do you think is going on with the Sebastian case?
I'm real interested in what Smiley knows, because she seemed real positive about that poker party, and I know you don't believe it happened.
Well, no, it's that who the information. It's not that I don't believe it happened. I just am not convinced it happened yet, because the information came from somebody that has been caught in a lot of mistruths. And so you have to, do an extra step to believe that. And even Smiley, it's just her assumption. She believes more so that it happened than it didn't. I'm just trying to process it from the sense of, his timing at work. He was there Thursday, he was there Friday, he had off Saturday and Sunday, and he was back between 6:30 and 6:45 on Monday. So it just, in my timeline, it's not a possibility. Maybe the week before it could be, but for me, in the timeline I put together, it just doesn't seem. So I just need more convincing, and I need more concrete information to be on board with that. That's all.
Well, if you go further in that particular live, she talks about that a woman came out that Chris had Sebastian allegedly in a headlock, and that was when Sebastian bit him and scratched his arms. And that a woman came out and broke it up from the poker party.
Mm-hmm.
And that would kind of fit with the pictures at Texas Roadhouse being taken of his neck.
Yeah, because we know
That's
there was a
what-
bruise on that neck. And I know, according to everything we've learned, that unless Chris was at that house before the 4th and before the 26th, then he could have been the one that left that bruise on his neck. But there was definitely, I know for a fact, I do videotaping all the time. I can see shadows, and I absolutely believe that that is a perfect thumbprint on his Adam apple.
And, who is this woman? I know that Smiley has people in that area.
Mhm.
I know she does. And I know she has contacts. And who is the woman that broke it up, that got Chris to pull off of Sebastian when he was in the headlock? That would have made the bruising. I
Mhm.
really do believe it.
I do too.
And,
I wonder.
and so that's why I'm concerned about that. And that would have been why Katie was taking pictures and zooming in on his neck at the Texas Roadhouse.
But if it happened, if that poker game had happened on Thursday.
No, it was Friday.
It was
He was
Friday,
saying
because
Friday.
she changed back. She's like, "Oh, it happened on Friday," and then she's like, "No, it happened on."
Well, I don't put too much credit on TL like you said.
Yeah.
But I will give credit to Smiley. I will
Yeah.
give credit to Smiley. She does have an alleged opinion
Mm-hmm.
that we can probably trust pretty well, and I think she has information that did not come from TL.
Yeah. Well, if that's the
And-
case, then it gives it a little more weight, because just like you, I trust Smiley too. There's a few people on this platform that I know aren't going to intentionally say something wrong for a click and a view, that they actually go out of their way to confirm information before they blab information, and Smiley's one of those people.
Right. I know out of all the creators, you and Justin and Smiley will not flip-flop on this case. You guys you're in it for the long haul, and I understand that. And I got you. I got your back.
Yeah, I
Betty.
appreciate
I
it.
got your back.
So,
And I just wanted to share my insight on that. I do believe that happened. I do believe that those pictures that were taken at Texas Roadhouse of his neck, where she zoomed in, I think that was her confirming that something had to happen before school on Monday. And I do believe it was completely
that would make more
premeditated.
sense, that because they knew as soon as he went to school on Monday, he was going to tell his teachers, because his MO is when they hurt him, he tells his teachers, and his teachers call in a report.
And I will also say this, in my experience of knowing a few autistic children, they do not lie. They tell their truth.
Mm-hmm.
And their truth is that they were hurt by blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And it could be an accident. It could be on purpose. It could be whatever. But that's my point, is I think that's what the discussion was about at Texas Roadhouse, about him not being able to, Katie trying to convince him not to tell the teachers.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that could be
that
why
was-
he shook his head no. I mean, there was
And
definitely
he
something
also
going
was
on there.
cornered.
There was a heated conversation of some sort. We
he also
identified
felt
that
cornered.
immediately. I'm
Did
sorry.
you see how he shifted over in the bench in the
Yeah.
booth
Mm-hmm.
into the corner? He felt cornered. He felt very afraid. And I do think when I watch that video, I just want to yell, "No, Sebastian, don't go home with her. It's a trap." And that's just the impression I get from that. And I just wanted to bring that up, that I think that information from Smiley is more from somebody else and not the TL.
Okay, well, if that's the case, maybe I just needed to listen to it a little bit longer. But I played the clip that I was sent. Well, I played the clip. I was told where to. Well, I was told where to go in the clip, but I probably didn't
Right.
play it long enough.
Well, and it was a very long area. I know, because I kept listening and I kept listening. I'm like, finish the story, Smiley, finish the story, and I get very impatient when I'm listening.
That's me too. That's funny. That's funny, Lisa. Well,
And
Lisa.
I do a lot of it on 2 times.
Yeah.
I listen to but I'll look at the transcript just to say, did I just hear that? And I'll go back and I'll look at the transcript.
Yeah, that's good. At least a lot of people don't know there's transcripts attached to all these lives that you can look at,
Right.
So,
But I just wanted to bring that up, that I do think that's a total possibility, and I know that goes against your theory about it being something set her off and it was not premeditated, but I do believe it was premeditated, and I do believe an ultimatum was made.
mhm.
I really do at this point, and that was not my original thought on this case. You can go back to my original emails to you,
Okay.
but I do believe that, and I do believe that there are several people involved in carrying this through,
Mhm.
because Mr. Chris is a planner.
He is. He is. And it's no it is no secret that this all seems like, even when I plug in all of their interviews and stuff, the behavior analysis, the psychological analysis identifies him as this strategic. Let me find the exact language it used, but it was the most recent breakdown that I did. Give me just a second and I'll find it. Da, 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 da. Hold on a second, it's pulling up now. Risk mitigation, information management. So, like, these are the behaviors that the AI is picking up about him being disingenuous, driving the narrative, but specifically says that his behavior reflects information management, risk mitigation, and status posturing.
Yep. And he's got to be the most important guy in the room. You know that.
And the smartest guy in the room.
Well, that will be determined.
All right, Lisa. Well, you take it
Well,
care.
take care.
God bless.
And share that cinnamon roll, man. I
My
heard you
cinnamon
eating it,
roll
and I
looks
was
devoured because I've devoured the darn thing.
I just wanted a bite. I could hear you eating it, and I was like, oh, yum.
I was eating it. I was eating it. I was eating it online. I was eating it live while everybody was talking. I sure was. I had my mouth full.
Well, you take care, girl.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.
Love you,
ya.
Betty.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Well, that is the last call we have time for tonight. We will definitely do another call-in live show, and we'll probably make that. I'm not sure what day that'll be. I don't really do live shows a whole lot because of the nasty people that call in and totally disrespect a victim of crime. And it's very, very appalling that this is the kind of country and world we live in, where people have no moral compass. And have little to no moral turpitude in this stuff. You know, we have a missing child that has been missing for a significant amount of time. The statistics tell us he's no longer with us, and people want to play games and jokes. And I just, for the life of me, can't imagine what kind of animal can do that. If not trash, what is it? If not trash, what kind of behavior is that? And you know who I'm going to blame? I'm going to blame the parents. I'm going to blame their parents, whether they're dead or alive. I'm blaming them because they should have taught their children a little better that are now adults, teaching their children how to act this deplorably. It's disgusting. It's a never-ending cycle, and at some point, somebody with some scruples has to end the cycle of bullying. Most of these these bullies, these adults, their children are being bullied in school, and they can't figure out why. It's called karma. That's what it's called. So maybe show a little more, I don't know, humanity. Quit taking and protecting bad people that have a history of injuring and hurting a medically needy underage kid. The stuff we heard that Chris has done to this boy, I'm sorry, I believe in whipping the rear end. I believe there's a time and a place. I'm not against rearing children here. We're not talking about somebody that doesn't, oh no, we got to stand them in the corner. No corporal punishment, right? I'm not that person. But I also believe there's a time and a place, and what I heard is not rearing a child. It is abuse. It is abuse. Mental, psychologically, and yes, physical. And anybody that helps people that have done this to a child before he disappeared can kiss my you know what. Because I think all of them are a bunch of idiots.
Bullshit level, DEFCON 5.
All right, guys, that is the show. Thank you for coming. Thank you for staying. Thank you for listening. Thank you for participating. And more importantly, thank you to my mods for keeping the chat clean. We can't control who calls on the phone, but we can handle it with kitten gloves at times. But what was called the very first call of this show, the only person it hurt was this boy. This boy. The only person these shenanigans hurt is this boy. And I understand his mommy and his stepdaddy don't give a shit. I get it, right? They just want to get on with their life. They couldn't stand him when he was here, and they're just ready to get on with their life without him here. I get it. I get it. But for the rest of us, we give a crap when they don't. Strangers care more about this child than his own mother and stepfather. That's what is so bizarre about this. But hey, nothing to see over here. And good God, let you say anything, let you have an opinion, and they're ready to take you to the frickin' jail. Courtesy of Sumner County, which makes me wonder whose pocket is Sumner County in since we've had no searches. And all of this tough arm protection of these despicable people. These despicable people get the protection of Sumner County at the expense of literally everyone, including a 16-year-old boy. It's disgusting. It's an embarrassment. It's a stain on that community, not a stain on Bullhorn Betty. I know they would like to smear me as much as possible, but let's face it, they can't do anything to me that I hadn't already done to myself. The only difference is this is a pack of lies. And everybody in that county, all the stakeholders in that county know it. And they still wish to help these despicable people at the expense of a 15-year-old boy that disappeared, now 16, his father, and whoever else is an outsider to that community. That kind of shit's going to be shut down at some point. I will tell you that. Knock, knock. I'm Bullhorn Betty. God bless. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. God bless. God bless. And please don't forget to keep Seth as well as Sebastian in your prayers. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.